The many challenges facing human society today can no longer be ignored. Pandemic, food and resources, housing, work, and ecological crisis are only partial list. But when those challenges are discussed in decision-making processes, something interesting happens. It is easier for decision makers to take into account the built environment, but the social world is often absent from the discussion. So our purpose is to mainstream sociological perception while formulating urban policy. We believe that the field of urban innovation can be fruitful ground for a new language, new toolbox, and new ethics. In the last decade, the idea of smart cities flourished both as an academic arena and as a market. As research, the idea of smart cities meet the idea of cities as science and theory of complexity. As market, cities found new ways to manage the cities in more efficient way, mainly in the areas of garbage removal, surveillance camera, traffic light management, and the formulation of transportation plans. Very little attention has been given to the promotion of social goals. We want to tackle this lacuna and to lead a social turn in smart cities. But how can we do it? Can we take the many achievements of digital smart cities and translate them to the social knowledge? My answer is no. My main argument is that in order to bring the social and the technology together, we have to be able to create process of deconstruction and construction. We believe that critical technologies emerge in the tension between those forces. The tension between construction and deconstruction mean to move from modernized approach of urban innovation, leading by progressive forces that go hand in hand with the neoliberal regime, to a perception of deconstruction. Jacques Derrida described deconstruction as a form of questioning through technologies. Deconstruction is inherent in contemporary visual and academic culture and describes strategy for creating critical form that is applied to a wide variety of objects and practice. Similar to critical strategies that emerge from Marxism, feminism, semiotics, and anthropology, deconstruction focus on linguistic systems that frame their project. So we understand that if we want to be able to deconstruct urbanism and then construct a new toolbox for urban innovation, we have to have a room of one's own, a safe space of deconstruction, thanks to visual and interactive technologies that enable us to learn the city model as a rich text. We are able to identify the urban syntax and then create new language of social innovation. In our work, we follow one of the important urban sociologists, Dubais, that creates new visual language in order to analyze Black America. Dubais argues that we are able to generate new patterns of knowledge through the act of visualization. We are following this idea. At the same time, our lab, Smart Social Strategy Lab, take a responsibility to join the effort of urban innovation and to promote urban resilience and ensure sustainable development in the field of society and economy. When I say we, I mean the Sociotech Research Group, amazing group of students and experts that dream and think with me in the past year. Let me introduce you with our first achievement, the idea of social topography. We thought, how can we embody inequality in the heart of the digital model? So we decided topography is no longer a question of distance from sea level. We want that topography will express socioeconomic issues. So here you can see the social topography of the Israeli southern periphery represent unemployment. So the surface that you see in this movie is 9% of unemployment. And those beautiful hills that you see is the rich settlements that suffer from up to 2 or 3% of unemployment. The holes that you see before are settlements of minorities group that sometimes suffer up to 25% of unemployment. So this is a new way or new language, visual language, to present social inequality. Another example is social topography of the housing market of New York City. This is the view of Brooklyn, and I will take this opportunity to thank Shai Zussman that produced this project. What you see here is the percent of renter household for whom gross rent is 30% or more of their household income. So if the place is low and red, it means that so many people there suffer from or loaded budget for housing. And this is another view of the meeting point between Manhattan and the Bronx. And again, you see the same data, but you see New York now as you never saw it before. Gaston Bardette was the first to coin the notion of social topography. He did that in order to give a shape for the sociological profile of city. But it was Pierre Bourdieu that stated that sociology is about social topography and revealed the syntax of this new language, segmentation and hierarchy. We published our work, and academically speaking, we could perish here. But we want to take one step forward and to ask how can this syntax not only critique our reality, but take responsibility and enrich the urban innovation toolbox. We understand that the social topography carry unique contribution. We create a new formula that reflects the slope, the relations between social distance and geographical distance as expressed in this metric. We point out the relationship between the value of the slope and the rates of crime committed by residents of neighboring localities in major locality, and thus raise an original contribution to the criminology of place research community. And again, this work too was accepted for publication. We want to push ourselves forward to the realm of simulation and promote equality generating planning. We create a new interface that tell policymakers the status of self-income per capita under the implementation of mega neighborhoods. This interface intend to ensure that the municipal services won't decline under the boots of urban development. So you see an interface very easy to deal with that show you in a very visual, intuitive way what is the situation of the municipal economy. The second principle that lead us is agents before building. We thought, can we create new kind of simulation that take into account people and households as active agents. So we tackle the challenge of the sociological outcome of urban renewal, mainly gentrification and displacement, and decide to put at the center of the simulation agents before building. Here you can see Shai Zussman and Daphne Levine work that measure and present the city sociological profile the day after urban renewal. So again, you can see a communication between data and the city as a 3D modeling, and you can see the project by project, and the answer to the question, who from the resident will stay, who will move forward, etc. And at the same time, we developed a simulation led by Sharon Ayalon and Shai Zussman that portrays and predict the sociological footprint profile of Roosevelt Island after moving from affordable housing to market rate housing. So to conclude, I will say that we bring together in our group, in our sociotech group, we bring together critical thinking that is the root of sociological imagination, together with urban innovation. We bring together academia and real world people, and real world people and subjects. We hope that in this meeting point, we create tech for change.